Hey everybody, what's up? Today is yet another edition of the UI UX workshop. Now let's get started. Hey y'all, Gary Simon here. So the UI UX workshop is a little series that I have going now. I think this is like the 5th or 6th episode where users from my Discord server submit their designs and I choose 3 of them for each episode and I improve them. So you get to see me work on these designs kind of like in a time-lapse format so you don't have to sit there watching me from scratch with my voiceover, just telling you why I'm making the different design decisions that I'm making in order to hopefully improve the originals. So the ones that we have to work on here, the first one is from Nikoni286 from Discord, and here we can see that this is pretty solid, but there's just some issues in terms of its type and the visual hierarchy. So we're going to improve that, and I'll explain what that stuff is here in a bit. And then the next one is from user MMI. And we can see here the main issue lies in the color contrast and just contrast in general with the form elements. So I'm also going to be changing some situations there. And then finally, this is from Dante Domnios from Discord. And this one we are going to improve as well. So as always, if you haven't yet, of course, make sure to subscribe. Let's get started. Before we begin, Linode makes it easy and affordable to host your website, your portfolio, your online store, and more on whatever technology stack you use. Getting up and running is fast and easy with one-click app installs like WordPress and Drupal. With back-end access to your server, customization and scaling options are all but limitless. If you just need something small like an online portfolio to showcase your work, Linode has you covered. If you need to manage tons of clients' websites and reliably serve them to millions of visitors, Linode can do that too. So sign up using the link below in the description to get $20 in credit on your new Linode account. So I start off by creating the same exact structure of the layout, which is largely fine. My issues are more with the finer details, specifically the type. I'm only using a different photograph here because I didn't have access to the other one the other designer used, but I do like this photo more because it's a lighter contrast, which allows me to put black bold text for the headline to really make it stick out more. Now next up for this section, I'm keeping all the same content, but I felt his version was a bit too squashed together with the headline, subheadline, and the form elements. So I'm making sure that they all contrast enough and have enough white space between them, especially the subheadline and the form, because the form is an important element. Next up for this section, his take on this really lacked any visual hierarchy between the training plan label and the title beneath it. They're just styled the same, so I'm really contrasting them with scale. And for the right sidebar, I felt he had the same issues with the type elements being too crammed together, so I'm just keeping the structure the same for the most part, but just ensuring things have more room to breathe. For this layout, I'm also keeping it mostly the same, but I do feel the navbar doesn't need to contrast so much with the background because it's not as important as the sign-up form that will follow. Now the issues present on his design were with the form, which really didn't have anywhere near enough contrast on the form elements, like on the strokes. The spacing and alignment between the form labels and some of the other type elements was slightly off. To be consistent, I wanted to use the same primary color in the background for the form element borders and some of the other text. His version of the gender section lacked consistent alignment with the rest of the layout, so I made one similar that spans the full width of the inner content section of the form container in 2 columns. The primary element that's preventing this UI from being great is the cookie cutter illustration with the monitor, tablet, and phone. So I found an isometric illustration that I thought would fit better and spice up the design a bit more with better visuals for that section. I also feel that his logo just contains too many color elements. So I really advise just to simplify the logo as I'm doing here. I also thought that he was emphasizing the wrong call to action. Potential clients who first visit his site will only care about seeing their previous work first and then inquiring about a free estimate. So here I'm just recreating some of the background elements he had in his design, but ultimately I just opt to go for a simpler route with geometric shapes. Then I decided to just enlarge the illustration to the right, which is a more modern approach for attaching illustrations to user interfaces. All right, everybody, so what did you think? Did I do a good job? Do you think I could have improved something else? Let me know what you think in the comments. And of course, as always, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.